Hey, is Cuphead still relevant?
No.
Dang. Cuphead is a game created by two brothers, Chad and Jard Moldenhauer. These two were the original team of what was to create the entire game of Cuphead. One mainly worked on visuals, while the other worked on programming. They sacrificed a lot for this game, and even gave up some of their mortgage to create this game. As the developers created this game, more and more joined them, and eventually formed Studio MDHR. This game was just made with so much care, and even though it was such a time-consuming process, everyone had a smile on their face, and simply had fun. Anyways, this past month I've been doing nothing but simply dripping every last drop of milk this game had to offer, and recently I finally 200% this game, speedrun this game, and even beat a simple boss without shooting. I just absolutely love this game, and I still play it after it simply disappeared from the internet now. It combines two retro style elements, the visual style of the 1930s, and the run-and-gun platforming experiences, which was very common in the 1980s. The two are decades apart, yet they match so well. By now you've probably heard that this game is hard. It is. Yeah. It can be really challenging. The difficulty of Cuphead has really sparked up the problem with difficulty. I've seen game journalists complain that this game is too hard, and I've also seen experienced gamers ask for an easy mode for people who bought the game for its visuals. What? Visuals for a game was only 4 players to be able to see what was going on, not to be pretty. If you only play a game for its graphics, are you really playing it? You could just watch a video with the graphics. Heck, Cuphead has really mastered how graphics should be though. It was really pleasant to look at, and you know what can be interacted with or not. This shows how much the developers really cared about this game. One of my favorite things about Cuphead is its difficulty. The developers knew that there would be some people who would buy this game just for the graphics, and it brutally punishes those. The game's difficulty really appreciates its visuals. It shows that this game isn't just a cartoon. It's a cartoon that will utterly destroy you. At the beginning it tells you the controls and how to play the game, and then sets you off to master it yourself. It doesn't spoon feed everything to you. And this is a really good formula. The developers didn't want to make this game for every single person on the planet to play. They know what they want their audience to be, and they aim towards that audience. It's like a movie genre. If you want to bring all your friends to a horror movie, there's going to be at least one that wouldn't want to go. And that's perfectly fine. But that doesn't mean that the movie is bad because somebody doesn't want to watch. Yet a person who isn't the best at games can still enjoy its visuals by watching someone else play. That's the beauty of games. Cuphead's difficulty really makes it stand out from all the other games, and people should really praise this more. Now I want to talk about its bosses, both with their visuals, audio, and their difficulty. They're great. Each one has their own personality and each one has different tactics to exploit. I can't name 2 bosses that I found very similar to each other. I was even originally going to create a top 5 Cuphead bosses, but I just loved every single boss so much. My favorite's Peppy, by the way.
Deja vu, I just been in this place before. Higher on the street and I know it's my time to go.
Each was always a new experience to enjoy. Instead of trying to cram every single boss into the game, it constantly moves on to the next idea, as if they were its own little game. A lot of them were actually inspired by other cartoons and games, yet they never feel like a complete rip-off, and this was exactly what the developers were going for. There was just so much creativity and care put into the bosses. Instead being a game that's a side-scroller with the occasional boss, it does quite the opposite, and these bosses really do feel like, well, bosses. And this is a problem with some games now, with them not feeling Like they're a harder enemy than like a typical Goomba. Even when I was stuck on the hardest of them, I still had the biggest stupidest smile on my face and really just enjoyed it. Cuphead is a very hard game. We all know that, but that doesn't mean it's not enjoyable. The game is very rewarding and truly does teach someone persistence. Each time you die, you get greeted with these end cards that say these messages from the boss, but these don't ever discourage you. In fact, they're nothing but silly little lines put in the game to motivate you and get a tiny little taste of revenge. Cuphead is an amazing game that I'll find myself replaying and replaying. This game has gorgeous visuals. It has both difficulty and enjoyment, and I haven't even talked that much about its creativity and music. The game doesn't even feel like a low-budget indie game, and I have so much respect for its creators. I give Cuphead a 5 over 5.
I'm Mr. King Dice, I'm the gamest in the land. I never play nice, I'm the devil's right hand man. I can't let you pass, cause you ain't done everything. Bring me those contracts, come on, bring them to the king.